But I mean, it's just a bite and a dip.
It's a classless move at a social setting. But here's the other part, Mitch.
Sure.
If it's a bigger chip, I know what you're going to say. What if you have a big chip?
Yeah, what if you got a big chip?
Tostitos that are massive.
They're huge.
Here's the problem.
Okay.
The problem is no one is going to see your turnaround maneuver. You say, well, Dimitri, I took a bite, but I turned it around, and I scooped with the non-bite portion.
Right.
No one sees that. No one's going to believe you.
Good play-by-play.
Everyone's watching it at different times.
I see what you're doing. You're practicing. You're practicing the play-by-play.
Do you see what I'm doing?
I saw you doing that.
Do you see what I'm
doing? I like
doing?
what you did.
Yeah.
Take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is
Got me in my hormones,
52-52.
all gas, no brakes, score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3. Yeah, I like to learn, but there's nothing you can teach me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming in hot, live, unlive this week on the CJSW 90.9 FM. You're listening to The Sports Show. Follow the Instagram channel. It's a new one. Last one was hacked. This one's come back at Sports Show Podcast. 2 S's in there, at Sports Show Podcast. Don't forget. You're listening to it. What if you want to see it? Very simple. Go to The Sports Show TV on YouTube. We're also on Podbean. We're also on Spotify. CJSW.com. You can find us there as well. Listen, I got it right off the shoot.
What do you got?
Right off the shoot. I got to tell everybody what's happening.
Yeah, do it.
Mitch and I, we got a tap on the shoulder. We got the nod.
Tap, tap.
There is a prominent wrestling family here in Calgary. Maybe you heard of them, the Hart family. I don't know. Maybe they're a big deal. They are. They're the biggest deal. Arguably the biggest deal in wrestling. So we've talked about it before. We went to the last show, but they're doing the Doomsday show, the Family Day Doomsday show, February 17th here in Calgary at the Pavilion. Doors open at 5 where you can take some pictures, meet and greet with the wrestlers. It's fantastic. And then the doors open. It's mad scramble to find your seat. It's awesome. The last show was amazing. Well, Mitch and I got the tap. We got the nod to actually do some side-by-side color commentary, helping to do the matches. So here's what it is. Obviously, you want to come see us. I mean, maybe we're the main event. Maybe. We could be.
This is a dream come true.
But here's for you, wrestling fan, for you, CJSW fan, we have a bunch of tickets that they graciously gave us for you, the fans. So if you are interested and you want tickets to the show, I only got a handful. They're coming in hot. They're coming in free. Message us on the social media with your email address. I can send them out. Here's the other part, 403-220-3991. Send a text message there. Don't call it. Send the text message there. Why? Because them at CJSW will tell us. Again, just give us your email address. If you're keen on going, you say, Dimitri, how many do you got left? I'm thinking me and a few buddies want to go. Boom. It's coming in hot. But yeah, this is exciting stuff, Mitch.
This is big. I mean, what else are you going to do on Friday? What, you could go to the bar? You could do that every weekend. You'll go to the bar after. Come down to the Pavilion. Watch us put on a performance. Watch those other guys in the tights do what they do. They're pretty good.
Not bad.
You know, you're going to enjoy the banter over here. You're going to watch those guys, and then you're going to go for the brewski anyways. It's a win-win-win for everybody.
The casino's next door. The grounds are next door. You're right downtown. They got some great matches. The Stu Hart Championship belt by Chris Masters.
What?
That's right. He's the guy. This guy's the guy. He's doing it.
I like
He's there, man.
I'm so pumped. You know what I'm also pumped about? CJ92, 90.9. You're listening to us live, unlive. It's Super Bowl weekend. Now, you're listening to this going, wait a minute. Could have swore it happened the other day. It did, but this is the pregame to the pregame to the pregame. Now, you could do yourself this and download this podcast right now. Then you don't have to watch the game because everything we're going to tell you is going to actually happen. Go to the Super Bowl party, and then you will be like basically the Nostradamus of the party. Because people are going to be like, how did you know that was going to happen? Oh, I listened to the sports show on CJSW. That's how I knew what was going to happen. So what's happening this weekend? The biggest show in North America. It's the Super Bowl. It's everyone's favorite. Dimitri, it's the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is in Phoenix. This is going to be a great Super Bowl. I have friends, you have friends that have made their way all the way down there. It's going to probably be maybe the best Super Bowl. I mean, on paper, it looks like it's going to be pound for pound, heavyweight championship fight. No pun intended to the wrestling show that's happening on February 17th over at the Pavilion. Dimitri, what do you like and who do you like for this Super Bowl? Tell us why. Who's going to win and why?
You know what? I I'm going to start by saying this. I am loving this matchup because I have literally flip-flopped on my pick three times this week.
Easily.
I almost feel like I'm filming The Bachelor right now.
It
You know
sounds
what I
like
mean?
it,
I
yeah.
just don't know who to give the rose to.
I don't know
I
either.
don't know who to give this rose to. I'm in love with you both. We had a great time. We both had a great run. Yeah, sure, I kissed you on the Saturday, but then I was kissing the other one on the Sunday.
There was no commitment.
It's tough
It's a
for me.
kiss. You gotta kiss
victim.
first.
But ladies and gentlemen, when it comes down to it, my final tally.
Yeah.
I have the Super Bowl rose.
Right.
And I'm giving it to the color of the flower.
What?
I'm going back on the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to tell you, I am so conflicted. Listen, I think Jalen Hurts is game time ready.
Okay.
I think he's real deal quarterback. I think the run game of Philadelphia is going to cause a lot of problems for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that Philadelphia has been so underrated that throughout the year, even being the number one seed, it's a little bit comical. On the other side, I underestimated what I think is the difference maker. A Kansas City defense that is actually showing up week in and week out. To boot, if a guy like Mahomes on a, sure, whatever, your ankle's broken, whatever. But either way, playing possum or not, if a guy like Mahomes, Mitch, can do that against Cincinnati and still compete and be in the game, I like it. He's got 2 weeks off. The defense for KC's firing hot. Everything is going, but here's what it finally comes down to.
Okay.
The Elefantis boys are going over, and I just wish that Philadelphia wins because they're paying tickets to go see it.
Right.
But then my brother and sister-in-law are massive Chiefs fans.
What?
But Patrick Mahomes, there's just certain players that are destined to be in the mix. And I just am going back. I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl based on the fact that that little hairline fracture of what I call destiny, it's got to be Mahomes time. That's it.
Wow. Here I thought to myself, what happens if we both pick the same team? That means it's destined to be a guarantee of the guarantee.
A lock.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to go against my boy. And it's been hard. I'm a lot like you. Flip-flop, back and forth. Because how do you go against the two-time MVP and Patrick Mahomes? It's hard. You can't do it. How do you go against Andy Reid, who knows both teams like the back of his hand? He's the greatest coach that I would say in this generation next to Belichick. They're very tight. I mean, back and forth. These guys know football. How do you go against the Kansas City that's been to the AFC Championship 5 straight years? Maybe not every year they've gone to the Super Bowl, but this team is poised. They're good. Well, I'm going to go with Philadelphia. Why? Because of two things. Number one, it's called defense. And number two, it's called the run game. Ladies and gentlemen, all you got to know about football, and when you go to that Super Bowl party and people ask you this question, just tell them one thing. Old school football will always beat new school football. Because when you can't push the ball in the air, when you can run it, it's much easier, it's much safer, and it's harder to stop. A good run game will always beat a better passing game. I know some people are going to argue with me, but ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm telling you right now, take the Philadelphia Eagles, who are also favored in this game by 1.5 points. I like Philly. I like old school football. I know they have a great fan base. I know they're coming in hard. In fact, I saw a report the other day that people are remortgaging their house in the Philly area to get down to Phoenix to watch this game. I mean, that's passion right there. They're greasing the poles all night long over in Philly. They're not doing it for fun. They're greasing the poles so that the people don't kill themselves. Take Philadelphia in this one. You're going to look like a genius at the Super Bowl game. Dimitri, I'm sorry, buddy, but it's got to happen.
Again, I just don't know if you're even right. It's so close. 2 number 1 seeds, 2 14-3 teams, 2 disrespected teams. We've talked about it week in and week out where everyone was talking about everyone else but the best.
That's right.
Right, in the East and the West. It's phenomenal what's happening over here. So this is why you flip-flopped. This is why I've flip-flopped. But I'm just going with it just is the I got to tell you this,
Sure.
the sensible pick, like the on-paper pick is Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The X-Factor pick, I think is Kansas City.
Agree.
And I'm
Listen,
just going with X-Factor.
Yeah. I hear you. There's no reason not to.
But what I will say is for Philly, You just got. I've said it before. I think I said it on the podcast. I can't remember. But over the weekend at the Greek poker tournament, I was just telling people, I go, just watch. Like if I'm Philly, I just watch the Super Bowl, KC versus Tampa Bay, and just copy what Tampa Bay did because they got a similar style team.
Yes,
they got 3 running backs that you can rely on at any given time.
Sure.
Pretty good, solid team. I mean, Tom Brady versus Hurts. Yeah, there's an argument there, but it's not like he's slowing down.
No.
And he can't throw the ball. So anyway.
I just think defense wins this one. I just like Philly's defense more than Kansas City.
See, and I like Kansas City's
more.
Defense wins championships.
You're going to win this argument at the Super Bowl party you go to. All you got to do is follow the train. Grab whatever idea. You're talking to guys like, I like Philly. Use Dimitri's idea. Well, did you talk about Kansas City's defense? Somebody comes, hey, I like Philly. Well, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe you want to agree with this person. Who knows? Bottom line, you're set. Go to the pregame, have the chips and dip. Don't double dip. Apparently, that's not a thing.
No.
That's a thing.
Ooh, no, you don't want to do that.
I still am on the fence with it. I mean, you take a bite of chip and you go for another dip. I mean,
It's a classless move in a public
if you're
setting.
sticking the whole chip in your mouth, pulling it back out, then, yeah, fine. But, I mean, it's just a bite and a dip.
It's a classless move at a social setting. But here's the other part, Mitch.
Sure.
If it's a bigger chip, I know what you're going to say. What if you have a big chip?
Yeah, what if you got a big chip?
Tostitos that are massive.
They're huge.
Here's the problem.
Okay.
The problem is no one is going to see your turnaround maneuver. You say, well, Dimitri, I took a bite, but I turned it around and I scooped with the non-bite portion.
Right.
No one sees that. No one's going to believe you.
Good play-by-play.
Everyone's watching it at different times.
I see what you're doing. You're practicing. You're practicing the play-by-play.
Do you see what I'm doing?
I saw you doing that.
Do you see what I'm
doing? I like
doing?
what you did.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we're going over to the NHL. It's Dump and Chase.
Yeah.
Last week, the NHL was the All-Star break. I got to admit, we talked it on the podcast last week here with Captain Morph at our side. Stop the All-Star game. Stop the All-Star competition. Scrap it all for 1 year and go back to the drawing board. It was horrible. I'm sorry. It was bad. I don't care what anybody says. But we were right about one thing last week. That Matthew Tkachuk is the happiest player in the NHL. That's it. Wow. I was joking kind of last week, and he turns out to be the MVP of the tournament. Great. But that smile, let me tell you, son, that smile.
He is happy. He is happy.
Well, let me tell you who's going to be happy this week. It's the Power Playlist. And remember, for those that listen to CJ92 90.9, yeah, you're listening live, unlive, right now in your car, maybe at the office. Who knows? The Power Playlist that we put together is a ranking of our top 5 teams in the NHL. Now, remember, it's on a case-by-case scenario. It's like, what have you done for me lately? Okay?
Right.
It's graded on the curve, as Dimitri likes to say.
Yeah.
At number 5, they're back. They're last year's Stanley Cup champion. It's Colorado.
Oh, they're back in.
They're back in.
Good.
Hey,
yep, I
McKinnon's healthy. Watch out. That's all I'm going to say. At number 4, hey, it's the guys to the north of us. They're starting to catch fire. These Edmonton Oilers are starting to catch a little fire. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
They're heating up at the right time.
They sure are.
Mitchell.
At number 3, here's a team that, for years they were worse than watching paint dry. It's the Minnesota Wild. That's all I'm going to say. We have nothing to say about it. Yeah, they still are, but they're kind of fun to watch.
The Minnesota Paint.
Yeah. Number 2, it's Dimitri's pick to win it all. It's the Hurricanes. And by the way, they're only 7 points out of being the number 1 team, but who's number 1? It's you, Boston. Why? Man, you guys are good. Damn good. In fact, I feel like they might break the record this year, Dimitri. I feel like they're on pace to be maybe the best regular season team of all time.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
It's going to be close.
But they could do it.
They could.
I think, what are they? They're 23 wins out or something like that?
Something like
22, 23. They could do it.
They could do it. They barely lose. They don't like losing.
No, they're not
They've
losers.
made a commitment to not lose on that team.
Yeah, we want to win.
Yeah, they're winners.
Yeah, they're winners.
Now, when we talk about the power play list, there's another list. It's called the shorthanded list. But last week, we made an executive decision live on the podcast. We're not doing all 5 teams because, hey, it's basically been the same 5 teams, but there's one team that disappointed us one more time.
The biggest loser of the week. And Mitch, who is it?
It's, I hate to say this, guys, and if you're listening, sorry, not sorry, it's the Calgary Flames. Listen, I can respect that you guys had the All-Star break. You guys go down, get a little sun. Kadri's representing us down in the All-Star game. Everything's great. You come back. First game out, you're up against the Rangers. Dimitri, that might have been one of the best hockey games I've seen in a few years, and definitely best hockey game I've seen this year. What'd you think of that Rangers game? And we'll kind of parlay it into everything.
That was unbelievable. And this is where you just, like, if you're the NHL, it's kind of like us with a podcast.
Right.
When sometimes we nail a podcast and we feel it, and we're, come on now. There's some that are just better than others. And you're like, please, God, please let someone have listened to this, right? Like, let the people listen to this one.
Yeah.
So they could see how good everything is. This is what the NHL hopes for. And to the NHL, I mean, thank God it was a team like New York from a city standpoint,
right.
that you get New York fans watching Calgary and you get the Western fans watching New York and for TV and NBC and all of them. That was an amazing game. That was playoff hockey at its finest. But as a Calgary fan, and to go back why probably they're on the biggest loser list, this is what I'm going to say. Calgary fan, I've sat here and defended you, Calgary franchise, week in, week out, saying, well, you know what? Here's some things to look at, and maybe we might make the playoffs. But if we do,
right,
this is where we stack, everyone. This is what playoff hockey is going to look like this year. This ain't last year.
Nope.
This ain't we grinded it out against Dallas. Maybe we thought we should have done it a little bit quicker, but we got it and we moved to the next. No, this has nothing to do with any of that kind of stuff, okay? So I hate to break it to you. But this is what the team is like in the playoffs. And, that's what that said to me, Mitch.
So to me, yeah, exactly. That was a playoff atmosphere game, and it was a wake-up call. Now, granted, they lost, but it was such a great game back and forth. And a lot of people are going to only talk about the body checking and the fighting. That was great. But here's what I liked about it. It sucks that the Flames lost, granted. But what I liked is it woke up the Flames going, wow, this is how good we need to play so that we can make the playoffs? Yes, gentlemen, yes. This is what you got to do for the last 30 games of the season to get into the playoffs. Why are you on the loser list? Because now you're out of the wild card spot. And in all honesty, the two biggest signings that we had this offseason, we had two big names leave and we had two big names come in. Where are you guys? Now, granted, Stony Trail is new. I get confused. Maybe they're stuck on Stony.
It's that north side, Mitch, where it's east, west, north, south, and you don't know. And
I agree.
You're like, okay, well, I should go east, right? But it's not really east, it's west.
So with that being said, guys, and for the fellow Calgarians, help them out. You know what I have to say? A lot of people are giving Huberdeau and Kadri some hard. Some people are leaving Kadri to the side. I still think Kadri's having a good season, but not the season we expected and for the money and the term that we gave you. But Huberdeau, buddy, listen. There's only so much we can defend. And I can't keep going on this. Well, it's 50 games in. It's this and that. When I see a game stat where you have 16 minutes of playing time, no hits, no assists, no goals, no shots on net, it's hard for me to defend you anymore. It's hard, my friend. So what I need you to do is get in that truck that I saw you buy on Facebook from a friend of a friend. I need you to get on that and you go directly down to the Flames and you get yourself prepped and maybe do a little extra practice. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you don't like Calgary, but here's the thing. We like you and we want you to succeed. We do. But it's time for you to pick it up a little bit, buddy, because without you, we might not make the playoffs, Dimitri. I don't know what's happening over here.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know if they can make the playoffs now. There was an argument there before, but I don't know because no one else is really letting up, and Minnesota has decided to pick it up, and that's the tough part of being a Flames fan is you look at a team like Minnesota and you say, really, they're getting it together. They've decided to kind of step it up a bit. So this is a hard pill to swallow. Flames fan, have a really low expectation this year. My opinion, just let it ride.
No,
chalk this season up to this season's a loss. But man, it's I don't know what to tell you, Mitch.
But you know what? And we'll talk about it more next week. We have a guy coming in next week. Huge Flames fan. Huge Flames fan. He has begged me to come on the show. I said, sure. We begged him in the past as well. But the point is, he's coming on, and he's got a lot to say. But here's what I'm going to finish it off with. We still got time, A. B, I don't care. We don't need to be the president's winning team. Just get in. But the point is, start putting it together, guys. Enough of this, 50 games, and we're still trying to figure each other. No. The other guys, look at Kachuk. I told you, the guy can't stop smiling down there. I know it's Florida. I know this is Calgary, but it doesn't matter. He shouldn't be that much happier than you.
No. Yeah. And speaking of Calgary, if you're just tuning in, you're tuning into The Sports Show on the CJSW 90.9 FM. We're talking sports. We're talking not sports. We're talking lots of stuff. We're having a lot of fun. We just finished with the Flames. You can go back.
Yeah. One final thing, not about the Flames. We're going to stay on the NHL for one more second. Dimitri, we're down to the final 30-ish
Sure.
games. Real quick, will McDavid score 60 goals this season?
No.
Will Ovi score 50 goals this season?
40, yes. 50, no.
Will Boston be the best regular season team of all time?
Yes.
Finally, will the Flames make the playoffs?
No.
Oh, boy. Hot take. From there, we go over to the hard court, and that's basketball for all you people. We barely talk basketball this year because NFL and NHL are our babies over here, and we do a little bit of the MMA, the boxing, and all that stuff. We like those a little bit more, but we like our basketball. Mainly, we love Giannis. Let's go real quick. Kevin Durant gets traded to Phoenix. You like, you don't like?
So, no, I don't like Phoenix. You picked the wrong horse.
You picked the wrong horse.
Follow the trend.
Get out of here.
Why would you bust up the team for that? That's just my opinion.
What are your thoughts on Kyrie going to Dallas?
Big pickup for Dallas.
Big.
Like
Big.
this is, listen, Dallas was one player away of making a significant splash.
And you think this is him?
This is a really good short-term punch.
LeBron James now is the sole possession owner of the most points in NBA history, beating out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, don't like.
No, come on, man. You got to, whether you love the guy or hate the guy, you got to love it. I've said it time and time again. We've been so spoiled being in this generation of sports, of watching people breaking a lot of these records. We're watching McDavid go on a tear. We're watching LeBron James be the number one guy. We've watched Tom Brady do his thing. We're watching in the tennis world 3 guys that are just constantly re-breaking records over and over again amongst themselves. This is phenomenal to watch. This is big, you know, and it's massive. It's really, really, really massive. But you know what I noticed between, like, when you look at Ovechkin, another one with the goal record potentially coming up. If you see the people, I've watched Gretzky and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and what's really nice, they're so humble about it.
Sure.
It's really cool. But
They're gentlemen.
be honest.
Gentlemen.
Be honest. No, you're not. No, you're
It's eating you alive, isn't it? It's killing you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like meeting your ex-wife's new husband. Yeah, sure. Yeah, really great guy. And in your head, you're like,
Oh, you're into 6'5" guys?
oh,
Wicked.
wow. I guess muscle's a thing for you now, and money, and success, and respect. I'll be watching the Chiefs game with my boys. Don't go following me. Yeah. But he's a great guy. Yeah, sure, whatever.
All right, we're off to rapid banter. It's everyone's favorite segment that we do. Christian McCaffrey, running back for the San Francisco 49ers, when asked about who he would like to see win the Super Bowl, his answer, I hope they both lose. Poor sport or cool idea.
Really? Are you in the dark room with Rogers?
Kevin Durant is the newest member of the Phoenix Sun. What's more likely to happen, the Kardashian curse or Kevin shaving his head?
I think we should change it to the Durant curse.
The Durant curse is right. By the way, Kevin Durant's got a little bit of a cul-de-sac going on, right? Listen, just do it. Shave it off. You're not fooling anyone with the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, he's looked like an old man about 10 years ago.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A record 50.4 million U.S. adults are going to be watching the game, or $16 billion is expected to be bet on the Super Bowl this weekend. What is the best surefire win of the week, Dimitri?
That 50.4 million people are away from their wives having a good time.
Canadian golfer Adam Hardwin, Scott Stalling, and Nick Taylor are 2nd, 3rd, and 5th in this current PGA Waste Management tournament in Phoenix. If Canada pulls off the 1, 2, 3, can we say that Canada is the best in golf?
F and A.
Hey, let her rip, bud.
Let her rip, bud.
Hey, bud.
Yep.
It looks like
Just
Conor
old birdie.
McGregor is back. Love it or hate it.
Unfortunately, you have to love it. You need it.
There it is. There it is. Now we're off to a segment we call Pass or Fail. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason we call it Pass or Fail is because we're here at CJSW 90.9 on the FM dial, the home of the University of Calgary, home of the Dinos. Mm-hmm. And, Pass or Fail is basically us talking about a subject matter, and we're passing it as a good or fail. We don't like it. It's our opinion. It's only our opinion, not that of the University of Calgary, by the way.
Yeah, big disclaimer.
Big disclaimer.
The contents of the sports show have not been certified or recognized, nor are they the real voice of the University of Calgary, nor the Dinos organization, nor the CJSW faculty club. They are indeed the opinions of Mitch and Dimitri. And even not really the opinions of Mitch and Dimitri. They are the opinions of not Mitch and Dimitri if they get us in any liability or trouble.
You know, you did that really well. Ladies and gentlemen, go to the YouTube channel. He had nothing in He made that all up right now. He just did it by himself. Okay, here we go.
Relax. Look, I look at you.
You're very relaxed.
I'm relaxed.
So this weekend, as I just said, the Super Bowl is in Phoenix, and the Waste Management Tournament, probably the craziest golf tournament you've ever seen, is also in Phoenix. So Phoenix is blowing up this weekend. But each year, they change the Super Bowl to a different American destination. I say, hey, let's change this up entirely.
Okay.
Why can't it be anywhere? Because they are trying to open up in Germany now. They did many London games. So I'm thinking, you want international presence? You got to go international. And no better way than the Super Bowl.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Pass or fail, Super Bowl future destinations. Abu Dhabi, pass or fail?
Pass. I think anything sports in the Emirates, in that area of the world, is a pass.
And you know what? You know they're going to build you a nice stadium.
The people are going to show up.
They're going to be there.
Up.
And you know what? They can do it during the winter like they did the...
Exactly.
It's cooler. They got it all. It's a nice place.
It's amazing.
It's the new Disneyland. Now, here's a place that doesn't get a lot of love. Iowa City. I think Iowa City, pass or fail?
Yes.
Middle America deserves, just because they don't have a team, why not? Middle America.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great pick.
Hey.
The Forgotten Realm.
The Forgotten Place.
Iowa.
Hey, they've done it only once, if you can believe it. They've only done the Super Bowl once in this city. Don't know why. New York.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a big proponent of all those places over there because at the end of the day, you got to be able to play in all the elements. Play in all the elements.
If you can win in all the elements, you truly are the best team.
Exactly.
The fact that you have to play in a controlled setting, I don't know. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? With that being said, speaking of controlled settings, Amsterdam, pass or fail?
Fail. I don't know if I'm digging. I don't know if the Dutch are going to gravitate to the football.
Here's my thing. If you can survive the week before and not get yourself in trouble, pass all day.
Yeah, fair point. But I don't know. I'm not rushing to Amsterdam.
You know what the nice thing about Europe is? In 3 hours after the game, you can go wherever you want.
Wherever you want.
Wherever you need.
Really?
It's kind of nice.
It's a good
Here's
thing.
one. I think this one should be on the list, and I'm not even actually joking. South Africa. Pass or fail?
Pass.
I'm telling you.
I mean, come on. You saw what happened in the World Cup.
This is what I'm saying.
It's great.
They love their rugby, which is kind of like football.
That's a good pick,
Just
Mitch.
saying.
It's a good
pick. It's a good pick. Here's one. I mean, the greatest soccer player or football player, the other football, played there for many years. Barcelona.
Barcelona's great.
Barcelona.
Yeah, that's great. They already have the stadium there, so the infrastructure's set.
It's all there. Great people, clean, nice.
Very good. Food's good.
Great people.
Yeah.
Great scenery.
Yes.
Oceans nearby. Just saying.
Most places, it's really just one flight.
Now, here's one for you. They do, it's an American place, Hawaii. They do the Pro Bowl there.
It's
Hawaii.
That's a no-brainer.
What?
It's a no-brainer.
Hawaii.
How has it not been done before?
I don't know. But you know where they've gone before and they should go more often? Detroit. Pass or fail?
Oh, yeah. You want to play... Yes. Pass. Pass.
You know who's saying no? The Calgary Flames, Anderson saying no to Detroit.
Oh,
he got ran over with a scooter.
He got ran over with a scooter.
Poor guy.
Yeah, but hold on a second. I question because I've seen these people with scooters.
Yeah.
I see how dangerous they're riding.
Right.
I question his intentions on the scooter.
I want to see. You think he was being a little...
I want to see how he was scooting.
Yeah. I'd like to see a scoot.
I want to see your scoot.
What's your scoot record? Yeah. Final one. Come to Canada. You know we love you up here. Calgary, Alberta, Canada for the Super Bowl. Pass or fail?
Come on. I mean, we're building new stuff. We're almost giving you the red carpet. We're begging you to come in and have a Super Bowl
Come
here.
on.
I think a Super Bowl would absolutely work in Canada. And you know what? All jokes aside, again, I don't know if someone listened to me and decided to just change the Canadian rules to American, we wouldn't have this problem. They would come up here because it would be the same game. But we don't have enough time. You're lucky Mitch does pass or fail at the very end, and I only got 1 minute to tell you that February 17th, come watch Mitch and us live at the Pavilion for the wrestling show, the Family Day Doomsday that the Hart family is putting on. Color commentary right here. You're going to get a great show. Not only that, 403-220-3991. Text me your email. If I got tickets left, they are yours for you and your friends. Here's the other thing. Sports Show TV on the YouTube at Sports Show Podcast. Sports Show Podcast. It's fantastic. Episode 246. One for the books. We got to shove it in the locker because we do got to hit the showers.
Have a great weekend. Go Eagles. Fly.
Mostly you don't know me when it drop, then I'm mostly what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I be locked in.
DJSW, we're Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.